Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about the narcissist and coercive controlling behaviour. Coercive control is an act or a cycle, a pattern of behaviour that another person uses to control you. So it can be threats, it can be humiliating you, it can be shaming you, it can be blaming you, it can be gaslighting you, it can be intimidation, it can be frightening you, it can be controlling your finances. It's a form of behaviour that a narcissist will use to control, to frighten. It's a pattern of behaviour to harm, to punish, or to scare you into doing what the narcissist wants you to do. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to coercive controlling behaviour, as a narcissist believes that they are entitled to have what they want, whenever they want, with whoever they want. As they go around exploiting other people to get their own needs met, with a lack of empathy, so they're not interested in who they hurt along the way. And with their arrogance, that sense of entitlement, that belief that they are special, preoccupied with their ideal, they are unpleasantly proud of who they are and often don't see any wrongdoing within their own behaviour, or quickly shift the blame onto somebody else as to why the narcissist felt the need to treat somebody else poorly. Due to these characteristics, they seek to control not only their lives, but the lives of those around them. And when this doesn't work, they use lots of different manipulative techniques, such as gaslighting, silent treatment, projection, blame shifting, sulking, triangulation, anything they can to escape accountability for their behaviour whilst controlling how other people think and feel and what other people do. The bait and switch, where the narcissist will do something to provoke you, and then once you've reacted, the narcissist will play the victim and blame everything on you. And as you are aware of your own behaviour, often you take responsibility for not only your behaviour, because of their coercive controlling ways, you take responsibility for the narcissist's behaviour as well. Narcissists believe they are special and they believe they're entitled to excessive attention from those around them. They believe they're entitled to have things done their own way. They are incredibly envious of others. Whether they know this within themselves is on the individual narcissist, but those they are envious of, they seek to destroy. They can't be happy for other people doing well. They feel incredibly envious when people are doing well and seek to bring other people down to make themselves feel better. Within a narcissistic relationship, you will find that you can no longer have friends, family, freedom, opinions, choices, hobbies, trust, comfort, true love, yourself, inner peace and reality. You'll find it's very difficult to reach your true potential, as you are the one often left full of self-doubt. You cannot have honesty. You cannot have the respect for who you are as a person. You will not get support from a narcissist, as they will coercively control to take all these things away from you. They will hit you with accusations, shame, blame, humiliation, false promises, fear, isolation, manipulation, slander, control, their manipulative games, the past, the mask, the pity plays, the guilt trips, insecurities, criticism, word salad, projection, rage, arguments, counter-parenting, counter anything, mirroring, smoke screens, lies, and many, many more. Then they'll twist the blame right back onto you and claim that they did nothing to you. So while most often we did nothing wrong, we're the ones left in fear, and we're the ones questioning everything we've done and not what the narcissist has done to us. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions to use against another person. Fear often unwittingly keeps people trapped in a situation they don't want to be in, often without even realising that they are in it. Fear of judgment from others, no longer giving in to the narcissist's demands. Fear of what the narcissist will do if you don't do as they've asked you to do. With sleep deprivation, narcissists often find a way to cause sleep deprivation, as it's easier to gaslight and control you. They can do this in many different ways. They can come up and wake you up in the middle of the night. They can keep you that busy that you don't get enough sleep. They can guilt trip you with, oh, just watch this movie with me. If you loved me, you'd watch this movie with me. Oh, just go and make me a drink. If you cared about me, you'd make me that drink. I've had a long day at work after all I've done for you. Or they can accuse you of cheating and say, you're going to bed so that you can message somebody else. Why don't you sit down here while I finish my game off? Why don't you sleep down here while I finish my game off? And then they will wake you up when they want to go up to bed, which is all disturbing and disrupting your sleep pattern. When someone is telling you when and where you should sleep, you are in a coercively controlling relationship. Whether they overtly, directly tell you, or whether they covertly do it through the guilt trips and the pity plays, you have a right to choose when and where you want to sleep. And nobody should ever make you feel guilty for doing a normal thing, such as going to bed when you choose to go to bed. Narcissists make it so they raise our expectations as who they are as a person through their future faking and their false promises and their false apologies. They sell the illusion as to who we would like them to be, claiming that that is who they are, and they would like those things too, to deliver us a completely different side of them. Yet they gaslight us into not seeing that toxic side. They create that dependency upon them because they fear abandonment. They want to make us dependent on them so that they are in control of us. Once they've created that dependency on them, we then fear them leaving us and work all the harder to please them. We fear raising our boundaries for reactions from the narcissist. We fear raising our standards for reactions from the narcissist. We fear how we dress from the judgment from a narcissist, whether that is the overt, the obvious, telling you that you look terrible in what you're wearing, or the I wouldn't wear that if I was you covert way, or I think you look better in this. You look better with your hair like that, is the covert way. The overt will say, what are you wearing your hair like that for? Are you off out on the pull? Do you want somebody new? And make you unwittingly change to suit them, to please them, because you want to keep them happy. You want to keep the peace, not realising that they are coercively controlling who you are as a person. We begin to fear saying no to them because they don't understand our no. We begin to fear letting go of them because of that pain in letting go, without realising that the pain of holding on to them is far worse than what the pain of letting go of them will be. The pain of letting go is temporary. The pain of holding on is permanent. When somebody says to you, you know what I'm like, that's just who I am, believe them. We might not be able to recognise the gaslighting and the projection and the denial and the lies and the blame shift and everything else that they use against us. However, when somebody humiliates you, shames you, blames you, criticises you, belittles you, hurts you, breaks a promise on you, breaks your trust, and then says, that's who I am, or you know what I'm like, believe them. We don't have to accept their toxic treatment of us. We do have to accept that's who they are as a person. When you have enablers and flying monkeys saying, you know what they're like, we don't have to accept what somebody else thinks of somebody else. We don't have to explain ourselves to enablers or flying monkeys. We can often find ourselves doing this for fear of judgment. Sometimes in life, you just have to let people be wrong and let life educate them as life educated us. Yes, it's a bitter pill to swallow because most of us want to stop people going through the pain that we ourselves have been through. However, until somebody is willing to recognise what they are going through, there is nothing you can do to help somebody who doesn't see through the narcissist gaslighting. All we can do is keep raising awareness. We can raise standards within people, explain values, let people learn values, let people learn their beliefs, let people create their boundaries to hopefully stop it in the future. You cannot stop somebody else making a mistake. Sometimes they have to make that mistake and learn for themselves. Yes, you can explain to somebody once, but if they do not want to listen to you, it's not your job to teach them. It's very hard when we have someone in our life controlling us through gaslighting and we can't even recognise it. It's very hard when someone we know or care about has somebody in their life controlling them and they don't recognise it. We put our trust in others, they put their trust in others, believing and knowing that people make mistakes. Believing that people feel how we do, people care about others like we do, people want similar things to what we want, people want to see other people happy. People don't go around destroying people that they love and care about, or at least claim to love and care about. However, narcissistic people do this. And it's so unbelievable because we ourselves wouldn't do this to other people. Therefore, we don't expect other people to do it to us. We wouldn't want to cause somebody else that pain. Why we continually work harder to please the person that's coercively controlling us. It's very difficult to wrap our heads around why somebody would want to hurt us in that way, especially when you've done nothing wrong to them. Often why we end up ruminating about what we could have possibly done for somebody to treat us that way. We relate people to being angry or people holding resentment, people holding grudges, people wanting justice to the fact that somebody's done something to that person. And in societal norms, yes, usually people do hold anger and resentment, normal emotions. People hold grudges when somebody has hurt them in some way. With a narcissist, they are angry, they are full of resentment, they hold grudges simply because they are envious of somebody else in some way, whether they're envious of someone's looks, whether they're envious of somebody's capabilities, whether they're envious of someone's personality, whether they're envious of someone's sense of humour, whatever that narcissist is envious of in that person, they hold a grudge about that person and they seek to destroy that person, not because that person's done anything wrong, because of who the narcissist is as a person, because of their personality, because of the traits behind their disorder. With a narcissist who will also often gaslight with, it wasn't that bad. It doesn't happen very often. You made me do it. We often then sit there thinking, well, it's not really that bad. People have had it far worse than I have. It doesn't happen very often because a narcissist can treat you right at times. So it was my fault. If only I hadn't have done this, they wouldn't have done that. These are all seeds of self-doubt that a narcissist has planted within your mind to get away with their behaviour, to further their control of how you think, so they can further their control of how they behave and get away with it. A narcissist will go all out to downplay anything they do wrong and exaggerate everything they do right. They will downplay everything we do right and exaggerate everything we do wrong. And as we are aware of ourselves, we pay attention. As we care for their opinions, we pay attention to their opinions. When really, if they're not there for us in the way we're there for them, their opinions of us do not matter. If they don't care for our opinions, we should no longer care for theirs. The thing is, with a narcissist, whether or not they are aware of their behaviour, whether or not what they do to you is intentional or not. With some, it might well be. With others, it might just be learned behaviour. It might just be instinctively. However, their behaviour is wrong, whether they know they're doing it or not. You explaining to them their behaviour is wrong is not going to change them, because they lack the comprehension to be able to understand what you are telling them. They lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour affects you, only how exposure of their behaviour might affect them. To which, if they are exposed for their behaviour, they will still blame the other person in some way. As to a narcissist, nothing they ever do wrong is ever their fault. They will not hold themselves accountable for their own behaviour, therefore they will not change their behaviour. When they say, you know what I'm like, that is who I am, believe them, accept that that is who they are, and walk away from them. It is as easy as that. It's not as simple, with all the gaslighting, with all the manipulation, with all the financial abuse. Everything else makes it very, very complicated. There is always a safe way out. It's just finding that safe way out for you. Yes, it's painful. We can heal. It's better to cry today by walking away than it is to cry on your birthday for the rest of your life. Dealing with a narcissist is a harsh reality that many of us have lived through, whether that is a narcissistic parent, a narcissist boss, a narcissist friend, a narcissistic teacher that's humiliated and criticised you throughout school. Instead of being that teacher that's supposed to teach you, they've hurt you and humiliated you. Having a narcissistic child, a narcissistic sibling, having a narcissistic partner, and it is draining, it is heartbreaking, it is soul destroying. It's devastating, it's painful, it's heartbreaking, and it is a difficult choice to get out. However, you are the one that has to make that choice. And once you have made that choice, you will find your way out. Sometimes we have to make the decision, we have to run by the decision, we have to grieve the loss, we have to go to bed, get up, go to bed, get up, we have to go through the cycle, and then we have to start working on us. We have to start finding our truth. We have to start finding ourselves, and we have to start creating a life that works for us again, because a narcissist will always be working against you. Even when they're playing nice, they are working against you. It's all to meet a need of their own. When somebody has always spoken badly of us or treated us poorly, and they've always done it, we might not understand it, but we know they don't treat us right. When someone constantly talks poorly of us to others, we might not understand it, but we know it's not right. When someone gets angry at us for no reason, we might not understand it, but we know it is not right. When someone tells us they love us and they care about us and then gets angry at us for seemingly no reason, it's very, very confusing. Then when no matter how much we change ourselves to suit them, it is never enough for them. It's very confusing. When they guilt trip us into doing things that we wouldn't normally do, when they triangulate us with our friends, our family, their friends, their family, into doing things we wouldn't ordinarily do, when they divide and conquer by saying people say things about us that they aren't actually saying about us, or telling other people we've said stuff about them that we haven't even said. When you care for their opinions, that they're telling you that you're jealous, you're insecure, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting. It was just a joke. Why can't you take a joke? When they provoke these feelings within us, and then we go to have a conversation with them about these feelings, and they make us feel worse for having normal feelings to their treatment of us, telling us that no one will ever love us, making us feel like if only we change, everything will be okay again. Yet we change time and time again to please them, to only ever get that intermittent reinforcement when they choose to play nice. And as they are envious, nothing is ever good enough for them, and they soon resort back to who they truly are. They soon start to devalue us again. We end up not knowing who we are. We end up not knowing that we are being controlled by them. We end up so full of self-doubt that we still go to them because we care about their opinion of us, not realising that it's their opinion of us that is destroying us. When things go missing, we are the ones that are left to believe that we're losing our mind, and due to that lack of sleep, we can often then lack concentration, making us thinking that we are the ones going crazy, not realising that the narcissist is the one behind how we are feeling, behind what is happening to us, behind our lack of concentration. When they start threatening us, intimidating us, damaging property, and then blaming us for damaging that property, we are full of fear. We are also wondering how we can improve to stop them behaving in the ways that they are. Because when it comes to things like loyalty, because you're honest, because you're loyal, because you care about them, these are the very qualities within you that a narcissist will use against you. They're relying upon you being loyal to them so they can control how you behave for them. They are relying on you being honest so that when you go to explain to them, they can provoke your justification so that you justify and defend yourself to them. And as soon as you start speaking up for your truth, they can start belittling you, they can start criticizing you, they can get you going until you react, and then they can blame you for your reactions to distract you from their actions. Controlling behaviour, coercive controlling behaviour, takes form in many different ways, in many different relationships, be it a boss, be it a co-worker, be it a friend, be it an adult child, be it a parent, be it a partner, and also in many different ways. Gaining a further understanding of coercive control helps you understand what you have been through, and you are never responsible for somebody else's mistreatment of you. However, you are responsible for your recovery. In legal terms, coercive controlling behaviour is long-term ongoing behaviour, patterns of behaviour, where one person drip feeds another into losing everything, losing friendship, losing family, losing money, losing homes, losing jobs, losing themselves and losing their reality. The manipulation slowly breaks down our personalities, from breaking down our trust to breaking down our boundaries, breaking down our health, breaking down our self-respect, breaking down our self-worth, to name a few. From the onslaught of mind games that a narcissist plays with you. Coercive control is isolating you from friends, family, money, controlling your finances, forcing you to take part in things that you don't want to do, damaging property, monitoring your activities, monitoring your whereabouts, threats to tell other people things about you, threats to publish things about you, threats to phone the authorities on you for things that you haven't even done, threats to harm the family, threats to take things from you, repeatedly putting you down, depriving you of your basic needs, humiliating you, controlling where you sleep, controlling what you eat, controlling what you wear, controlling where you go, controlling who you speak to, your social media being monitored or being hacked. Some steps for recovery: seek help in leaving. People do understand you. People do understand what you have been through or what you are going through. Seek the help and the support relevant to the area you live in getting out of that situation. Write down what truly happened to put your reality back in. Write it down, and then the next day read it as though someone you really love or care about has written it down and is coming to you for help and support. Read it like it's happened to them. What advice would you give that person? Be your own best friend, be your own best caregiver, be your own best advisor. Listen to your own advice first before you listen to those around you. We can take on board other people's advice and we can be, yes, that works for me, I'm going to try that, or might work for you but it's not really for me, so I'll leave that one be. Listen to it like it's happening to someone you truly love and care for, and then follow the advice that you would give that person. Start working on limiting beliefs, all those thoughts and feelings that the narcissist has planted within your subconscious. Start writing down all those when you think you can't, and when you think it's impossible, when you think you're not good enough. Start writing those down and start questioning yourself as to why, and then start telling yourself you can and you are good enough. Confidence comes from within, and it's something that we build by stepping over our fears and doing it anyway, and then slowly building it up, slowly proving ourselves that we can do things. Sometimes we have to stop and look at how far we've come and not how far we've got to go. We've got to recognise that things are a learning curve. We might make mistakes. We learn the lesson and we get up and we go again. Start putting yourself first. Yes, people can feel like they're turning into a narcissist by doing this. It's all to do with the intentions behind the behaviour. When you step onto the aeroplane and they're going through the safety checks, the first thing they tell you to do with the oxygen is to put it on yourself first, so that you can then be at your best to help those around you. If you put that oxygen mask on little children and then they can't help you, there is no one to then help them off the plane because the flight attendants are helping or the families are helping their families first. You have got to be at your best to help those around you. Also, if you put it on somebody else first who is self-entitled, they're going to take care of themselves and leave you to it. They tell you to put that oxygen mask on yourself first because they know the majority of people will want to help those loved ones first, which then causes chaos. Yes, it's going to be chaos, but they want organised chaos so that they can get everybody off the plane safely. Self-care is not being a narcissist. Self-care is being at your best so that you can give your best. Get creative, write, draw, sing, paint, start gardening, play an instrument, dance around, find your creative side, whatever it is for you, and start getting creative. If you've never painted before, but you've always fancied painting, some people do get it pretty good the first time. Many people, however, will suck the first time, as we need to learn. It's a process. So if you have a passion in doing something, don't give up just because you failed the first time. Keep going, keep trying, as long as you get the happiness and the joy from it. And don't judge yourself too much. If you feel okay sharing your story with others, talk therapy. If you don't feel okay sharing your story, don't share your story. Stand by your morals, stand by your values, stand by your personal beliefs. Create new routines for you and start doing all those things that you wanted to do that the narcissist wouldn't allow you to do. Start dressing how you want, start doing your hair as you want, start speaking to those friends that you want to start speaking to, start going to those places that you want to start going to. Take back control of your life. Exercise, yoga, meditation, eating how you want to eat, how you want to live your life, the exercise you want to do, the things that you enjoy. Take back control of your life by finding you, by self-care, by being at your best so you can give your best. And by that self-care, even when you are having those low moments, even when situations hit in life, because you are taking care of self, you will be able to manage them a lot easier. I am currently full for one-to-one coaching. I shall add the sponsored link to BetterHelp in the description. If anybody has any advice as to what helped them overcome a narcissistic relationship, please do drop it into the comments. EMDR is an excellent method, as there's a lot of trauma we don't always recognise, and EMDR is a safe treatment to help us recognise and work through those traumas. It works for many people. There's lots of other different ways. Please again add them into the comments and find the way that works for you. Remember, if you're paying a therapist and you don't agree with what that therapist is saying, it doesn't necessarily mean that therapist is wrong. They've been taught to do it in a certain way. That therapist has their beliefs. It means that that therapist is wrong for you. So leave them to go and work with the people that are right for them, and go and find the therapist that is right for you. Thank you very much for listening, and go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.